My name's Tom Turner. I work as a farmer. It's a family farm. Family have been here since 1933. We're based just to the south of Hassocks in mid-Sussex. We used to have a dairy herd, but we are now primarily beef and arable. Work is extremely varied and driven by and large by the seasons and by the weather. We're involved with calving cows, so we see births, occasionally you see death. And having cereals, we're involved with ploughing, planting crops, and you're fully reliant on the weather for their growth. Farming, you have to have a go at all sorts of different things. You become a jack of all trades. You're sort of in a maternity ward one minute, you might be planting crops the next, or dealing with an electrical fault. So you deal with all sorts of aspects of a business. This year we've got 100 acres of wheat in the ground, so you'll prepare the ground sort of September, October. Buy the seed, you drill it, and you do everything you can to give it the right conditions. But you have to trust that it's going to grow and that you're going to have a crop at the end. You're totally reliant on God, you're reliant on the weather. He provides all of that. That is a large aspect of our farming. Having a faith in Christ doesn't mean that your life is perfect and there will be no problems, but it does change the way you approach work. It helps you deal with failures. You've got someone to speak to rely on, and actually a failure of a crop is not the biggest deal in the world. You've got to sort of pick yourself up and move on. Having a faith in Christ helps me do that. Prayer is important. I think the two big prayers that we come across are thank you and help. When we've got struggles, it's acknowledging that God has helped us, has led us to success. Day to day, I think farming has probably become more of a kind of isolated industry. You may have had 10 or 12 men on a farm a generation ago. Now there's maybe one or two. It's a high risk industry. I think it's second only to the fishing industry with the number of deaths per year. The price that farmers have been receiving, a farm gate price, has been relatively suppressed. Therefore, people start taking shortcuts or maybe not employing as many people. So you do find lone working and people working long hours. And I think mental health issues and struggles have definitely impacted the farming industry. Yeah, there are people that they commit suicide or they try and work extra to compensate for low prices. I mean, I really enjoy my work, but I don't make it my entire life. Especially on a Sunday, we as a family, we make a decision that we're going to do no work or as little as possible to take that day of rest. And yeah, church is a good opportunity to meet other people who are like-minded, and Sundays sort of refill time with God. Sometimes I think we're so busy, we can fill our whole weeks up with stuff and we don't maybe take that day out to think about some of the bigger things in life. People don't even address maybe what God is, who He is, whether He's real, what He means to them, and we're just so busy running around doing stuff. We don't take time out of our week to address those things.